wish to add with regards to the defense's argument they wanted to put on the record?
Yes, Judge, the state's not to do that. We believe that the improper, it'd be injecting additional evidence that was not.
I just watched the whole thing. I thought I was streaming it.
So it's proper to give a definition included in charge previously was not requested previous to the jury deliberating when leaving the charge and closing on.
All right, thank you. So does everyone feel as though they've made a record on that?
Judge, just one final thing.
Sure.
There is a fairness argument to be made because it would not be fair for the jury to still have some sort of confusion or question about something that all parties know
It does happen.
is to be true, which is that he has not been convicted of felony.
You always
And
have
that's
to be
it from us,
careful.
Judge.
All right, anything else to add, state, to defense's final statement?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So we're going to bring the jury in. My understanding is there's a verdict that's been reached in this case. There is not to be any outbursts from either side. If there are outbursts, what will end up happening is you may not be allowed back in the courtroom. Does everyone understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Deputy,
May we get a ruling on our request
for what?
to include additional language about the state having the burden?
All right, I previously ruled upon that, but
It's denied.
the state, correct me if I'm wrong, the state does not have the burden to prove that your client has never been convicted of a felony before. Am I correct, or is there something that I'm missing?
No, correct, Your Honor.
All right. All right, let's bring the jurors in.
And think
Marion sent that to me. I wasn't going to do it. I've seen what happened. It's disgusting. But I can't believe these jurors did that to her.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the court's understanding that you all have reached a verdict with regards to punishment. Is that correct? And is that verdict unanimous?
Yes.
All right, if you will hand the verdict form to Deputy Laura, please. All right, the defendant will please rise. It states we assess your punishment at 10 years in the prison. There's a $10,000 fine, and they are recommending that your confinement be suspended and you be placed on community supervision. Would anyone wish to have the jurors pose?
Okay, I don't get it. That sounds great. That sounds like a max sentence from the jury. What am I missing? I don't know. I don't do criminal law. I don't practice in Texas. We don't have this sort of phase. What am I missing? Because as we go forward, this thing gets suspended.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may be seated. I'm going to ask each one of you if this is your verdict. If this is your verdict, I need you to say yes. If it is not your verdict, I need you to say no. Does everyone understand? All right, we'll start on the back row. Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict? 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 Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict? Is this your verdict? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm
defense
going to
attorney.
excuse you for now. If you'll wait for me in the jury room, and I will come back and meet with you at that time. Everyone, please rise for the jurors.
They could give 2 to 10. They gave 10. How does this guy not end up in jail?
All right,
How?
everyone, please be seated.
Somebody explain it to me.
All right, the court is going to proceed with sentencing. With regards to the length of time on probation, does anyone have any input they would like for the length of probation time? State,
Yes, Your Honor. We're requesting 10 years probation.
defense?
Yes, Judge. We agree.
All right, the court then is going to follow the juror's verdict. sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years, there is a $10,000 fine. The court is going to order 180 days in the Bear County Jail as a
Okay, did the jury choose to suspend and probate this, whatever the hell they mean by that? Or did the judge make that decision? That's what I don't know. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this procedure.
condition that will begin today.
Somebody tell me.
The court is going to order
Make
safety,
it make sense.
and the court is ordering safety based upon the testimony that the court heard during the trial. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's going to be regular random UAs, proof of employment.
Who's that? Who made the decision to suspend it? Judge Boyd or the jury? Because when she reads the verdict of the jury, she just says they say put him in prison for 10 years. And then she goes to sentencing and says it'll be suspended. I got to know.
Within 45 days of release from custody. Court is going to order the defensive driving course. There's to be no driving until further notice. Is there any request that vehicles at the home be equipped with ignition interlock?
There is, Your Honor.
All right, there's to be ignition interlock on any vehicles at your residence. There's to be field visits one time per month for 6 months.
Where do you get that? He gets 6 months
Defendant is to remain in custody
right now.
until the 180 days is served
Okay, so he's got to serve 180 days.
and
That's better.
transfer to Safe P. And that is to be Safe P with aftercare.
Okay,
Judge.
Oh, just 1 moment.
I don't
Yes.
like it, but that's a
There's to
lot
be
better.
200 hours of community service restitution. State, is there anything else you would request in way of conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, we're actually requesting the 600 hours community service. We're also requesting any Texas driver's license or pilot license be suspended for a minimum of 2 years. And after his full GPS, after his release from safety and aftercare.
All right. With regards to the community service hours, the court will set the community service hours.
He killed her.
Judge, I completely misspoke and we would be requesting a PSI. I
Oh.
don't know if that can be corrected at this point.
Well, PSIs, once the jury has been elected to pass punishment, the court does not need to consider a PSI.
Understood, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So it'll be 350 hours of community service restitution and 2-year driver's license suspension. All right, yes.
And Judge, we're maybe aware that you might have a pilot license for aircraft. And if that's so, we would request a suspension also on any type of driving any type of heavy machinery in a public.
Just 1 second. I'm sorry.
That's just disgusting. Well, that's our system. You get a jury. Sometimes they make horrible decisions like this.
Pritchard is very loud. All right, yes.
Any type of heavy machinery that's operating in public, obviously, or at work. The fact is that that would be in concert with the Texas driver's license, Your Honor.
All right. Well, what the court is going to order is a 2-year license suspension, period. 2-year driver's license suspension. So
don't
it
do
doesn't
this.
matter if it's Texas, Louisiana, or where it may be. So there's going to be a 2-year driver's license suspension. And I'm assuming that if someone has a pilot's license,
I don't do
that
criminal
that
at all.
encompasses driver's license. But if it doesn't, let me be clear: the 2-year driver's license suspension applies to a pilot's license as well. Now, with regards to his employment, if they're allowing him to be a forklift driver or whatever on their property, that's in their purview. And there is to be, just one moment, I'm sorry.
What are you telling me, Julia?
Is there, and the regular and random UAs?
I hope so. I
that
hope
will
they pop him.
include alcohol testing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right, anything else?
State's requested restitution to the victim or the next of kin of the victim, Your Honor.
All right, with regards to restitution, the court will say restitution, if any, to the complainant's estate. If for any reason there is an amount defense that you feel is too high, we can have a restitution hearing on that.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, state, how long will it take for you to tender to the defense an amount?
Judge, if you would allow the next 30 days, we could have that amount to the court or to defense, Your Honor.
All right, so that will be restitution, if any, to the complainant's estate. And then what we'll do is I will set this,
It's a
if we
recommendation.
need it, for a restitution hearing.
What the hell kind of process do we have going on
and
here?
I'm not going to put the date in the system. This is just a deadline for everyone to have things to me. And if it's not there by that time, then there will be no restitution hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
So we're going to put it on
Probably
is
not.
September 23rd. I know that's more than 30 days, but is that enough time for everyone?
If he has a violation or something, they won't
I
do
believe
it.
so, Your Honor.
That's
They won't
works with us,
revoke
Judge.
him.
All right. So, state, you need to turn over to the defense the proposed amount of restitution by September 23rd. Defense, you'll have a chance to look over it. And then defense, if you have any objections, you can set it for a hearing. If you all don't have any
Yeah.
objections to the restitution amount, if you all will send it to the court and a signed
have any money?
document from each of you.
You might have money
Alright.
to pay attorneys,
Is
but
there
does he have real
anything else
money?
from either side with regards to conditions?
I doubt it.
None from defense, Judge.
State?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Castro, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? And did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
If you'll pass that to me, please. You have a right to appeal as this was a jury trial.
Thank you.
However, because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question on what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, is there a victim impact statement?
Will be, Your Honor.
All right, we're going to proceed with victim impact statement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was she standing in the well?
Sure.
Judge, can I just have a moment to speak to my client?
Sure.
So as you've seen, this is my daughter, Alexander Seibert. You've never once offered any sense of regret or remorse. I've been in this courtroom for every hearing, 15 times. You've laughed and giggled in there. It was all a big joke because you plan to get out. She's not the first young lady's life you've ruined. I'm hoping she'll be the last, but she's the third. You need to start accepting responsibility. You might have the money to hire somebody who can fluff the truth for you, But let me tell you something. This is my daughter, and this is where you put her. And this is my husband, and this is myself tending to her. You've got a daughter, you brought her in the first hearing. She was 14 at the time. You thought that that would make a difference. You wanted sympathy, but you didn't give my daughter any. Let me tell you something. You need to look at my
Oh,
daughter
good.
and think about your daughter, because there are people out there like you. Your daughter can be sitting on the road, and someone just like you who had spent the whole night
Really?
from 6 going to 4
Right here.
bars, plowing into her, lying, misrepresenting the truth, killing your daughter just like you killed mine. You need to think about that when you lay your head down at night, that your daughter's just as vulnerable as mine was. And all those other women, you did things to. And that's all I'm going to say is you need to start being held accountable for your own actions and not slip through because you've got money to put a little fence around you. Because I thought my daughter was protected, and you probably think your daughter's protected. And someone like you killed her. That's all I'm going to tell you. And it's wrong. And you never said you were sorry. Your mom said she felt bad, but you never once, not in that whole entire thing. And instead you took a picture of her car. You got that posted on your Facebook page like you had other things posted? That's all I'm asking. You need to think about it because God's watching you. And think
Nah, in civil court, unless he's got serious money, I doubt it. The way that will probably shake out, if there are insurance policies, they'll tender the limits, but they'll get them to they'll the way that would usually work out. It depends, but you're gonna let him out in order for the insurance company to tender the limit. That's what would usually happen, unless he's like super rich. I mean, I think this guy's got some money. He hired some attorneys, but I mean, what's that? I don't know, $50,000 or something for a trial. Yeah, it's significant, but that doesn't mean you can pay. That doesn't mean you can pay a $5 million verdict. I don't know. Maybe he's got that, and if that's the case, then they should sue him. This is what I do. You'd run asset checks and figure it out. You figure it out before you get into that whole rigmarole. That's sort of interesting. That is, it was perfect for that case. It's just ultimately disappointing. I feel horrible for that mother who gave a nice victim impact statement there too. Thank you, Britt. Thank you. I was wondering what the justification for the 180 days was at that point. So then the judge has that leeway automatically. She says she's going along with here's another thing too. Like she says she's going along with the suspended sentence. I don't like it, but I don't know what the options are. Like if she says I'm not going along with the suspended sentence, then what? Do we have is that like a hung jury? Does it go back to the jury for further deliberations? Or or is she free to impose something else? But if she's free to impose something else, why the hell are we having the jury do the punishment anyway? You know, whatever. It's not an area of practice, and it's not the statutory scheme that I'm dealing with. My guess is there's some form of grand deference to the jury doing it once you've done it. So her going along with it doesn't mean that much to me. It doesn't mean she likes it. It just means that's the only way to end the trial here. Here's the upside. He's running around. This guy just bugs me too, for the exact reasons the mom said. He was just a smarmy little turd the whole trial. And here he is, only doing 6 months. But 6 months is 6 months. That's not nothing. Here's the upside. He has got a felony conviction. So the next time he does something, first of all, they can ring him up for the 10 right now. Second of all, he can't run around and say, I don't have a felony conviction, because I'm not there, but it sounds like he deserves some prior felony convictions. But now they got one. He is going to spend 6 months in jail. And then the license and probation stuff. And the probation stuff is probably pretty strict. If you're going to be on probation, I'd rather have you in front of Boyd, who I know is a stickler and tough on these things. But I'm not. The first time I played this thing and I got all excited the first time, but I wasn't streaming. I thought I was. And I was so excited because I just heard 10 years. I'm like, damn, they maxed him. That's fantastic. The usual. Sort of the criminal equivalent of remittitor. Judge can reduce a jury verdict, but can't add to it. In a civil context, this is criminal, but that's the same concept. Let's talk remittitor. Oh, who wants some Friday night dirty remittitor talk, huh? Huh? All right, we did it. I don't know. Worst trial ever. I will never do it again. It was my fault. Nobody even sent this to me. I looked at it. I was playing with the computer. I thought it would be fun. I really did. It's 100% my fault. That trial was horrible, and I chose it. But I'm still going to blame Natalie D. Who I haven't talked to in 4 months. Oh, good Lord. I don't even know. I don't even know what to tell you people. Thank you all for coming out. I can't believe people are watching this. And then Alyssa tells me that it's the verdict and it's fine, but it's an hour and a half after the fact. It's Friday night. I was doing stuff. You can tell I'm being good, though. Being a good boy. Here I am Friday night. Sober as a deacon. Comme du jour. I don't know. It's not the worst thing ever. The guy gets a felony conviction, does 6 months in jail for sure, and has possibilities for more. But he was a smarmy little prick, and I would have liked to seen him get some. And 6 months means he's in jail as opposed to the penitentiary. I wanted this guy in the pen. Oh well. There you have it. There you have it. It's just awful. Apparently.
And think
Apparently that's what taking this girl out was worth to this jury in Texas. I can't say I agree with them. All right. Well, that got my blood up. That was depressing and awful. That was a perfect, depressing, crappy, awful end to a depressing, crappy, awful trial. I have no idea why anybody watched 30 seconds of that. I watched I turn on and I was just having coffee and I was looking for bits. I watched randomly an hour of Court and Gujati this morning, and it was fantastic. Over on the other channel. It was way better than this trial. Judge just told attorney after attorney how stupid they were. It was good times, but nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt. They just have to refile their petitions because nobody apparently knows how to do it right except him. Ah, frustrating. All right. Let's just shake that off. Let's shake that off. Put it in the memory hole. Let's pretend it never happened. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. I will see you soon. Behave yourselves. I'm not bailing you out.